What's up everybody, I'm Anthony DeiCicchi with On the Water Media, and today I want to show you how I have my Yeti Loadout Go Box 30 gear case all ready to go for when an invite comes to go tuna fishing on somebody else's boat. Now this is a great box to have ready to roll. You can keep a tremendous amount of stuff here, and when you get those invites to go tuna fishing with other people, it might be the first time you've gone tuna fishing on that boat. So you're never really sure what the program is, what kind of gear they have, and I love to take my own stuff with me without overloading the boat with a bunch of personal stuff unless I'm asked to bring it with me. It's got non-skid feet, so right where you put it, it's gonna stay all day long. It's gonna remain watertight and closed until you need something in it. And I'm gonna walk you through all the stuff that I like to bring with me. And outside of this, unless I'm asked to bring a bevy of other gear, it's usually this, a backpack, and maybe a rod or reel or two. So this is how I have mine packed up for when that invite comes to go tuna fishing. And I'm gonna kind of take you through it, lay out all the stuff that I bring here, and kind of speak to why each element or each item is in this loadout box. So starting with the insert, this is the type of stuff that I have my Go Box loaded with for when stepping on someone else's boat. These are some of my favorite stick baits that I like to throw when the fish are on top. The Deadly Ron Z, great Sandale imitation. Always good to have multiple heads, many tails, and all the fish catching colors. My favorite paddle tails. Again, these can save the day when the fish are a little bit more finicky and on things like butterfish and whatnot. So starting from the back here, you can never have enough rubber bands. Rubber bands are your friend. Helps you organize stuff, helps you do things like affix bank sinker to a leader, all kinds of uses on the rubber bands. Rigging bands. These are great to have if you want to quick bridle a bait. All you need to do is send a rigging needle with an open eye through the eyes or the nose of the bait, spin it up over the hook, and attach that hook so it's sitting right on the nose of your bait. That keeps the hook exposed, helps with the hookup ratio. These Calcutta leader keepers, a great tool to keep your leaders useful for another trip. Balloons. You never have enough balloons. Electrical tape, various uses, can't leave home without it. Some ready-to-go bait catchers. These are for catching squid. Sabikis are also super handy for catching live bait like mackerel and whatnot if you're gonna switch over to bait fishing. Always good to have. Always want these on the boat. Live bait hooks, circle hooks. I got some inline hooks as well. Sharpie. Sometimes when the tuna are super finicky, you can use this to black out your silver crimps and whatnot on your tournament tackle for a little stealthier presentation. Lens wipes. These have a couple good uses. One, getting the salt spray off your sunglasses, or again, when that bite gets finicky, sometimes it really helps to wipe down your fluorocarbon leader that removes your fingerprints from the leader, and it's just a little trick of the trade for upping the stealth in your presentation when fishing live baits, especially on line shy tuna. They have great eyesight, so you never know if that little tweak will help you get that bite. Bank sinkers, something that should be on every boat just in case it switches to a live bait bite. So that's everything I keep in my insert. Moving on, again back to hooks. These are treble hooks. Now, spare spool. Always like to kind of keep a spare spool in my loadout box just in case you get spooled. Bluefin tuna, you are fishing in waters where you could hook everything from a 30 or 40 pound school bluefin to an 1,000-pound plus giant, and getting spooled happens. So it's always good to keep a spare spool on hand in case that happens. Hopefully you break the fish off at the leader, but that doesn't always happen. Binoculars. You need to be able to see far, especially when you're hunting tuna on the surface and looking for feeds and birds and other marine life that will clue you into the presence of tuna nearby. A cushion. Again, fighting fish, you want to be comfortable. This goes right on the rod butt. Sunscreen. I always forget this one. Just make sure that I bring it. Now, this is a Garmin InReach Mini. This allows me to communicate with other tuna fishermen that may not want to broadcast what they're experiencing to get their buddies in on a bite. Now this also has a lot of safety functionality. In an emergency situation, you can alert first responders or communicate back to home if you don't have cell service with this tool. Assist hooks. Now this allows me to change out my assist hooks on the fly, keeping with that jigging theme. My jig wallet. When I'm going for tuna, I don't leave home without it. Low profile terminal tackle boxes. This has everything in it to change up rigging on the fly. Bait fishing leader material. This is more on the giant sized side of things. I keep everything in this sleeve from my leader material to kind of have a pre-packaged everything I need in one spot if we're gonna switch over to fishing bait. So I got chafe gear in here. Obviously the coil of leader material, package of sleeves that are the right size for the leader material that is in this bag. Same thing with hooks and big game swivels. So that's everything I need in one leader pack to rig up live baits on the fly. Spare sunglasses. Last time we were out on the water filming, Jimmy Fee dropped his sunglasses overboard and made use of my spare sunglasses that I had brought with me that day. Rigging floss and rigging needle. You always want to have your floss and your needle tied to the hip of one another. A little rubber band around it keeps them together at all times, which is definitely easy when you're trying to rig a bait on the fly. Zip ties. Running low on them, always a great tool to have. You never know when they're going to come in handy. I love using these zip ties on my Ron Z's to attach the tails to the jig head right at the collar, and that allows me, if I get a hit, it's not gonna pull the soft plastic off the jig head. One of the main uses for zip ties, but there's many. Now in these compartments, I keep my wind-on fluorocarbon leaders. If I chafe a fish off or get sharked up, you just cut the braid off, attach one of these, and you're back in the game, jigging or throwing your stick baits. Various different spools of fluorocarbon leader. Spare soft plastic tails for my Ron Z's. Definitely want to have all the fish catching colors handy to cycle through different tails on your Ron Z. Pink, green, and white are pretty much standard. I also like silver. Ziploc bag. You're taking a fish to the truck, a lot of times you can grab a head steak or a tail steak and have enough to make some sushi back at home. Spare pliers. Need those just in case the ones you have get misplaced or go overboard. Split ring pliers. That's how you're gonna change out all your assist hooks and anything with replacing hooks on baits. Hand crimpers, crimping tool. Last but not least, bring my old man with me on every trip I go on. This is his biggest tuna, just at 1,100 pounds. And his old 42-foot striker that he killed a ton of tuna on. Coming along for the ride in spirit, brings me good luck, gives me confidence when I'm out there, gets me home safe. Miss fishing with that dude. So as you can see, that's everything that is in my pre-loaded go box. This is the 30 gear case size from Yeti. There's still plenty of room to get more stuff in here. And as I took this stuff out, mentally I was taking inventory. It's time to start thinking about tuna. Within the next month, those calls will start coming. So some things that I realized that I have misplaced since last season, for one, was a drag scale. Must have left it on a boat last year. It's time to reorder a new drag scale. It's always good to take inventory so that you have everything you need and you can mobilize quickly. That's how I load out my go box for a tuna trip. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give us a subscribe, give us a like, and stay tuned for more great content from On the Water Media.